Okay, so hello everyone. So I do apologize for lack of uploads. I did upload like a few days ago actually, so it hasn't been that long. But in this video, I want to do something pretty simple. I feel like a lot of my videos have been really difficult and over difficult topics, and I just want to kind of tone it down a little bit to do some, a little bit of kind of like pre-algebra. And so I came up with these problems, and so these problems, of course, in this video, we're not really going to take a really long time doing these. But I wanted to kind of show y'all how to rationalize radicals, or, simplify radicals by rationalizing the denominator, and also the idea of conjugates. So, in other words, taking the conjugate. There's a difference between the two, but yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. The first one that I have here is 2 over square root of 5, so, and obviously we know that we can't have a denominator at the bottom, so we're just gonna go ahead and multiply by the square root of 5 on top and bottom, and then this will give us 2 square root 5 all over 5. And obviously that's just the rule there. We need to make sure that whenever we have a denominator, a radical in the denominator, we need to rationalize that by multiplying by that denominator. The conjugates will come, they're more for numbers 3 and 4, so I will explain that in a minute. But that is the final answer for this one. So, yeah. Alright, so number 2 says the following. 3 square root 5 over square root of 6. So, this one, we need to go ahead and do the same idea. So it's kind of the same idea here. We need to multiply by the square root of 6 on top and bottom. So here we have 3 square root 5 times the square root of 6 all over 6. Now, here's the thing with number 2. I want to just make sure we understand the rule that the square root of a times the square root of b is really the square root of ab. So I just want to make sure y'all understand that before anything. So we're just gonna apply that rule here. So the way this is gonna go is really this will be 3 times the square root of 5 times 6 all over 6. Okay, and so we know that the 3 over 6 will reduce, and that's just going to be equal to 3 over 6. Actually, I'm sorry, 1/2, excuse me, times the square root of 30, really. And here, we're going to go ahead and just simplify this a little more, so just multiply it, and we end up getting the square root of 30 over 2. So that is our answer for this one. Okay, guys? Okay, so number 3 says 2. So this is where we actually, we actually have to understand rationalizing. So it says 2 over 1 minus the square root of 6. And so here, we need to understand that this is, so we need to multiply by the conjugate. So if I have a minus square root of b, then the conjugate will be a plus square root of b. Okay, and so here, we need to go ahead and multiply by the conjugate. So if I have 1 minus square root of 6, I'm going to multiply times 1 plus square root of 6. And so then this will end up giving us 2 times the quantity 1 plus square root of 6 all over. And remember that, you know, here is where we have to understand the sum and difference pattern, and it's kind of why it's so important to understand FOIL method, if anything. So if y'all want to do FOIL method, it kind of helps with this stuff. It really is up to you. So we would end up with 1 plus square root of 6, really, we're just distributing this part here, and then minus the square root of 6, and then plus 6. So this will end up giving me 1 plus 6 on the bottom. I'm sorry, excuse me, 1 minus 6 on the bottom. So this will cancel out, and we'll just end up with 1 minus 6 on the bottom. So this will be 2 times 1 plus square root of 6 all over negative 5. You can put the negative 2 on the top, so you can put the negative on the top, negative 2 times 1 plus square root of 6 all over 5. So this is kind of the simplified version of this. So that is our answer for that one. Okay, and now let's go for the last one. So the last one is actually really hard. That's why the last one is more of a challenge, I will say. So we have number 4 is 2 square root 2. I think it was over 3 plus square root of 3. Okay, and so here we end up having, so we're going to go ahead and just multiply times 3 minus the square root of 3 all over 3 minus the square root of 3. So again, we're doing that same thing about those conjugates. Remember, a plus square root b, the conjugate will be a minus square root b. So if it were this, they're basically conjugates of each other, right? Now, here we're going to do 2 times the quantity, I'm sorry, excuse me, 2 square root 2 times the quantity, and it's going to be 3 minus square root of 3. And again, at the very bottom, like I said, you can do sum and difference pattern. A squared minus b squared equals a plus b times a minus b. Okay, guys, it really depends. So here we're just going to do, we're just going to go ahead and do either that or FOIL method. Really, 3 plus square root of 3 times 3 minus square root 3 will be 9 minus 3 square root 3. I'm sorry, excuse me, 3 squared minus the quantity square root of 3 squared, which is 9 minus 3, which is 6. So on the bottom, we will have a 6 there. And all we have to do here is just simplify at this point. We can see very clearly that there's a 2 and a 6 right here. So I can kind of split this up. This is 2 over 6 times the quantity, the square root of 2. And I don't know why it keeps doing that. Times 3 minus square root of 3, I think is what it is. So it's going to be like this. Times, and it's going to be, actually, we're going to do it the following way. Actually, yeah, we're just going to put it as 3 minus square root of 3 like this. And so then the 2 over 6 reduces, right? So this reduces, and it's going to end up being 1/3. So it's going to go 1 times the quantity, the square root of 2, times 3 minus the square root of 3, all over 3. And so this will end up being the square root of 2 times the quantity, 3 minus the square root of 3 all over 3. And so that is the answer for this one. You can also, if you want, say 3 square root 2 over 3 minus the square root of 3 over 3, and then just do the square root of 2 minus the square root of 3 over 3. It really doesn't matter. These are two different ways to write it, but that is how we do this one, guys. And that is going to be it for this video. I know it wasn't that long, but if anybody has any questions, please let me know. And thank you so much for watching, and please like, comment, and or subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.